Hi, it's Yuki. How you guys doing? In this video, I'm going to talk about how to make te form in Japanese. So let's get started. First of all, te form is one of the most important forms of Japanese verbs. The reason why it's so important is because it has a lot of functions. By attaching some letters to te form, it can express various things like these. In this video, I'm going to focus on how to make te form. So when it comes to these expressions, I'm not going to talk about it. However, I have an intention to make new videos for each of the expressions, so please just wait for it. Okay, first, Japanese verbs can be divided 3 groups. Each of the groups has different conjugation rules, so I'm going to explain it one by one. Actually, group 1 has very complicated conjugation rule, so I'm going to explain the conjugation rule for group 2 first. Verbs which belong to group 2 are here. I'm going to use this verb to explain the conjugation rule for group 2. 食べる, 食べる, which means eat. When you convert the verb into the te form, only one thing you need to do is changing the last letter to te. So in this case, you need to change ru to te. So it becomes 食べて, 食べて. This is the te form. After changing it, you can express various things by attaching some letters to the te form. For example, if you attach いる to the te form, it becomes 食べている, 食べている, which means I'm eating. It's a progressive expression. Besides, if you attach い to the te form, it becomes 食べていい, 食べていい, which means can I eat? If you attach 欲しい to the te form, it becomes 食べて欲しい, 食べて欲しい, which means I want you to eat. So as I said earlier, if you acquire how to make te form, you will be able to express various things like this. That's why te form is very important. Okay, let's take a look at another verb. 寝る, 寝る, which means sleep. The last letter is ru, so you need to change it to te. So 寝て, 寝て. That's it. It's the te form. Okay, I'm going to show you other verbs. 変える, 変える, which means change. Then it becomes 変えて, 変えて. 教える, 教える, which means teach. Then it becomes 教えて, 教えて. 覚える, 覚える, which means remember. Then it becomes 覚えて, 覚えて. 決める, 決める, which means decide. Then it becomes 決めて, 決めて. 捨てる, 捨てる, which means throw away. Then it becomes 捨てて, 捨てて. 信じる, 信じる, which means believe. Then it becomes 信じて, 信じて. This is the conjugation rule for group 2. Next, group 1. As I said earlier, group 1 has very complicated conjugation rule. First, we need to break up the verbs which belong to group 1 into 5 additional categories based on the last letter of the verb. Here is the categories. Category 1. When the last letter of the verb is su, you need to change the last letter to して. Category 2. When the last letter of the verb is ku or gu, you need to change the last letter to いて or いで. Category 3. When the last letter of the verb is mu, bu, or nu, you need to change the last letter to んで. Category 4. When the last letter of the verb is ru, u, or tsu, you need to change the last letter to て. Category 5. There's only one verb which belongs to category 5. It's 行く. Okay, I'm going to talk about category 1 first. When the last letter of the verb is su, you need to change the last letter to して. For example, 話す, 話す, which means speak. The last letter is su, so you need to change it to して So it becomes 話して 話して Okay, one more example. 落とす 落とす which means drop. The last letter is す So it becomes 落として落として Next, category 2. When the last letter of the verb is く or ぐ You need to change the last letter to いて or いで For example, 書く書く which means write. The last letter is く So you need to change it to いていて So it becomes 書いて書いて泳ぐ泳ぐ which means swim. Then it becomes 泳いで泳いで Next, category 3. When the last letter of the verb is む ぶ or ぬ You need to change the last letter to んで For example, 飲む飲む which means drink. The last letter is む So it becomes 飲んで飲んで遊ぶ遊ぶ which means play. So it becomes 遊んで遊んで死ぬ死ぬ which means die. So it becomes 死んで死んで Category 4. When the last letter of the verb is る う or つ You need to change the last letter to で For example, 切る切る which means cut. Then it becomes 切って切って飼う飼う which means buy. The last letter is う So it becomes 買って買って持つ持つ which means have. Then it becomes 持って持って Category 5. There's only one verb which belongs to category 5. It's 行く which means go. 行く becomes 行って行って So these are the conjugation rules for group 1. It's very complicated, isn't it? So please practice while watching the table. Next, group 3. Group 3 has an irregular conjugation rule, but it mainly has only two verbs, する and 来る So please just memorize the conjugations. する becomes して来る becomes 来て That's it. How was it? Actually, there is a test so that you can review today's lesson. You could take the test on this website. Also, the link is in the description in this video, so please just try it. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you soon. See you.